On.
Hello everyone and welcome today to the first WWCFL game here on Amateur Sports TV. The 0-2 Regina Riot are playing against the 0-2 Winnipeg Wolfpack live here from Eastside Eagles football field. I'm Matija alongside here with Kevin Larson, and today's game is brought to you by Super 8 West. And the pregame show today is brought to you by Backwood Boiler Boys. Honest alternative heating solutions for our frigid Manitoba winters. Visit backwoodboilerboys.com.
Manitoba winters and late springs right now.
Yeah, it's looking like that today for sure, Kevin. But I must say, it looks like we got a very lively matchup on our hands here. Always a big rivalry between two teams from neighboring provinces here. Regina looking for their first win, as well as the Winnipeg Wolfpack. So, what are you looking to see in this game here today?
Well, again, I mean, they've only dropped 2 games, so no reason to start worrying quite yet. But you want your first win. You know one of the 2 teams are going to get it today. You want it to be you. So yeah, just hard fought, just straight from the start.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree on that one, Kevin. It's gonna be a barn burner for sure, with 2 teams desperate for their first win of the season, and we know for a fact today that Regina has not come in here to lose, and they're going to play the Wolfpack as hard as they can in order to challenge for that first W.
Looks like the players are getting ready for O Canada.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can hear it from our spot in the booth and pass it along.
Captain's out for both teams here for the coin toss. A bit of a wind here today, so an interesting choice to see where the winner of the coin toss will likes to take possession first.
Mm-hmm. first broadcast. We don't quite have the refs mic'd up yet. Maybe in the future.
Yeah. That would be a very interesting feature to have the referees mic'd up during a broadcast. Very similar to CFL and TSN.
And Glenn's not here. Of course, he'll be doing the Manitoba game at 12 o'clock.
So it looks like the Regina Riot have deferred. And they'll switch places here. And the head official here signaling that the Winnipeg Wolfpack will indeed receive on the east side of the field, and the Regina Riot will kick off from the west.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't bother to remember which side of the field, but you did. That's why you're sitting in that chair and I'm over here. I'm from small town. If I can't orientate myself with the number 12 highway, I don't know which way is northeast, southwest, or any which way.
And a fair point. In very small towns all across Manitoba and Saskatchewan, people have their passionate love for football that's brought them here to this broadcast and to this game and to this field to enjoy another great day for football here at Eastside Eagles Field.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I didn't know Canada had a professional women's football league until a couple weeks ago. Well, no, probably a couple months ago now, but to see there's fans here on a cold day and they have a full league, a full schedule, and that's kind of cool to watch. And my daughter, who's hiding in the warmth elsewhere right now, she's like, there's girls football, and was like, yeah, so she was kind of excited.
That's definitely another great point that you bring up there, Kevin. It's always exciting to see the game of football growing across all ages and folks across all of Canada. See here to set to kick off for the Regina Riots is number 90, Morgan Turner.
And of course, there are 12 players in 110-yard field, much like the CFL.
And deep here to return for the Wolfpack are Brittany Swanson and Rocky Hackman. Turner giving a signal to the official that she's ready for the kickoff. Whistle is blown in. And Turner sends it away. Bounce up at about the 35. And Hackman doesn't go anywhere, tackled down on the play by number 80 of the Regina Riot, Hope Jordans. And the Winnipeg Wolfpack will set up 1st and 10 on their own 33-yard line.
That was great coverage by Regina there. They didn't let her, get ahead of steam. And sometimes returners, you don't want to kick deep to them because when they get that full charge, they're going to run over you or dance around you. And she was not able to do that.
That's exactly what it was with the special teams coverage there. Just a nice pooch kick that bounces around the 35 and really gives no time for the returner to make a move when the coverage team gets down. So Rebecca Clark under center here for the Wolfpack on 1st and 10. Double tight formation. Snap and a sweep and handoff to Swanson. And she's tackled for maybe a gain of 2 yards by number 25 on Regina, Ashley Clayton.
Regina able to catch that corner pretty quickly.
And again, the Winnipeg Wolfpack looking into their playbook for their sweep left and sweep right to fool opponents with that double tight dual back formation on the outside, and Regina able, like you said, Kevin, to snuff out the attack and set up a 2nd and long here for the Wolfpack.
Brittany's down. I think her left ankle kind of got caught underneath her as she went down. I kind of saw it and I was like, I might be seeing things first play of the game, but no, she's down, and made me cringe. I've experienced that long ago.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. And looks like Swanson is down and receiving some attention from the trainers, and hopefully she's all right.
Oh, and I do apologize. I forgot to take the Super 8 extended long, so you guys missed the first 30 seconds of play so you could hear us. My first time on switchboard. Normally I'm in the other chair here, but kind of filling in here. As this is our first team, all of us, first time from camera guy to me to our play-by-play. No one's worked together, but we're so excited to get this Canadian Women's Football League started that we put together teams and We have to have 2 teams this weekend, so apologize for that. Super 8, you got a long ad there, or a long logo there.
Swanson up and walking off the field. That's a good sign. And so here the Wolfpack set up for 2nd and long, back from their own 35-yard line. Clark under center and a quick handoff. And not much up the middle again. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long here. And it looks like the coach is going to call on the punt team, Aaron Taylor. Sending out Julian Raposo, linebacker / punter / kicker. Here to look to get some great field position for the Wolfpack. And deep to return for the Regina Riot are number 17 and number 22, which is Mira Treblecock, as well as Peyton Custer. Pozo gets a snap, sends the kick away, bounces around the 55, dribbles all the way about to 46. And there's a flag on the play, but it's looking like Custer is on her way outside. Going, beats the punter. She's going in for the touchdown for the Regina Riot. But as mentioned earlier, there are flags on the play way back at the 42. And Ray Penner for the Wolfpack is down, and she looks like she's in some serious pain. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to guess here, Kevin, I'm going to say that might be an illegal block, and this one's probably coming back.
Yeah, I believe that was an illegal block in the back. I think it's her arm, maybe shoulder, collarbone area. She's kind of holding her right arm to her body. And it's one of those ones that's legal block to the back. Regina, it's that side back where you want to put you. Probably should have just been a push instead of a full on block. Probably would have gotten the same play. So it's unfortunate for Regina. We hope Ray. I was going to say Shay, but Ray is all right. She gets off there holding that right arm.
And indeed, the head official signals for a legal block, and so the Regina Riot is set up. 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. And like you said, Kevin, that's the difference in the game of football between winning and losing sometimes, is just those slight inches of penalties that can end up in a touchdown or can end up in a big loss of yardage. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Regina Riot. And Kowalski hands off.
Oh, she's still
going. Number 10 up the sideline, and she's going, and she's taken down at around the 39-yard line of the Wolfpack. And pardon my pronunciation of this name, but Koutsogiannopoulos
Rebecca
runs left end up the sideline, all the way from her own 32 down to the Wolfpack 39-yard line.
A run as hard as her last name is to pronounce.
That is definitely very true, Kevin, but a great run at that. And the Regina Riot go here into no huddle. And Kowalski motioning her receivers and gets a snap. Looks for a quick slant. And in and out of the hands. And it looks like number 85, Jenna Collar there. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for Regina.
Not wanting to let Winnipeg get set there. The yellow and black are probably going to throw me off. This is Winnipeg. Manitoba's a different team, but
yeah, again, looking like a very aggressive style from the coach here. As they're quickly to the line again, and Kowalski in shotgun gets a snap, dropping back. She looks and fires across the middle, and it's caught by number 8, Kyla Krenbrink.
That was a great sniffing out the screen by number 17, Jill Fast. You saw the Regina line do it perfectly. They just annihilated the defensive line of Winnipeg, except for there Jill was waiting right by the running back, and she caught the ball, and she was smart. She didn't try to do anything with it. Don't want to fumble the ball at that point, but
yeah, it was a good ball security, and obviously key at this point for Regina, and sending out the punt team here so that they can get some good field position and pin the Wolfpack deep. And again, Turner comes out to punt from the 40-yard line of the Wolfpack. She's got an onside player there to the left of her. Snap, and Turner sends it to the right outside the numbers, and it's bouncing. And it dribbles out at around just inside the 20-yard line. And that's looking about the 18-yard line of the Wolfpack. And so Winnipeg will be 1st and 10 deep in their own end. And a good punt there by Turner to really flip the tide of the field position in order to give the Regina Riot defense a big advantage and a lot more room to work with.
Yeah, if they can hold Winnipeg to not a whole lot of yards, then your offense has killer field position here. And just good special teams play.
Again, the Regina Riot showing good coverage and kick position on the special teams here. And so Clark again under center for the Wolfpack on 1st and 10. Looks like might have had some early movement. And a rugby scrum going right up the middle. And we do have a flag from the official on the left sideline. Looked like Regina might have moved a bit early, so the Wolfpack might be getting
a free play.
Five extra yards. Or it might be procedure. So actually some movement in the line of the Wolfpack, so
not sure why that wasn't blown dead then. Asking.
So offside they call, not procedure against the Wolfpack. And so the Riot declined the penalty. So it'll be about 2nd and 8 here for the Wolfpack, just in the middle of the field at around the 20-yard line. Clark gathering the troops under center in a double-tight bunch formation. Gets a snap and looks for a pitch right. And looked at Kayla Kilborn, got the pitch, but is taken down for about a loss of 1 or 2. And so again, another 2 and out here for the Winnipeg Wolfpack. And Coach Aaron Taylor sends out Raposo here to punt the ball away again.
And this punt is going to be huge in the field position battle. He's going to have to get some serious leg behind it, try to get Regina into their own end or at least midfield.
So here Raposo awaits the snap. Snap comes. And a short line drive kick, and it dribbles, and she gets a nice little bounce there to about the 52. And again, it's number 22, Custer, busting out to the right side with no flags on the field this time. Beats the punter. She's going, and she's into the end zone for the touchdown.
And a great return and great blocking.
But again, I'm going to have to stop you there for a sec, Kevin. We got another flag on the field, and it's looking like it's going to be against Regina. The flag is at about the 15-yard line. And we're waiting from the head official to give a call here. So he said another, again, illegal block. So again, another touchdown wiped off the board for Custer for the Regina Riot. But nonetheless, they're going to set up with great field position here just inside the 25-yard line of the Wolfpack. So again, 2 killer penalties, really stifling momentum for the Regina Riot from putting 2 exclamation points in this game. And Kowalski here, shotgun, dual back set, gets a snap, and hands off again to Giannopoulos. And she runs out to the right side, and she's in for the touchdown this time. No flags on the play, and Regina have put the first points on the board, and it's 6-0 for the Riot.
A great play from Regina there to, you get that penalty. I want to go back to that punt return. Juliana Cornish, who's actually being looked on the sideline, she actually did kind of the opposite. She came in, she saw she was going to do a block in the back, so she kind of angled herself in front of the player and just kind of stopped and kind of in that mind. Unfortunately, they go and they get a block in the back further down the field, but gave him better field position, set him up, and a great run from Regina.
That is true here, and Turner awaiting the snap for the point after. Hold down, kick is up, and it's good. And that now makes the score officially 7-0 for the Regina Riot with 10:42 remaining in the first quarter. Now again, as you pointed out, Kevin, you see there as another costly penalty looked to stop Regina from putting an exclamation point and another great special teams play, but regardless, the next play, Kowalski leads her team in a one-play drive for Kutsagianopoulos to punch it in from about 25 yards out. And again, Regina looking to fire on more cylinders here as they're looking for more on this next defensive drive to stop the Wolfpack, and the Wolfpack are going to have to respond on this next drive here. Clark's going to need to lead this offense to score some points and to punch back against this Riot defense in order to make this game back into their favor. And Turner here signals her teammates for the kickoff. And she sends it again deep right. Another kick that bounces out of the hands of Hackman, and it bounces down to the 13-yard line, and she's swallowed up by the Riot players at her own 10. So a great kickoff there by Turner. Really got some nice height, good power, and bounced all the way past Hackman, and got a nice bounce as well that didn't fall out of bounds, and about 55 yards net on that kickoff. So the Wolfpack backed up deep in their own end here for a 1st and 10.
Yeah, I think the Wolfpack are going to have to pull something out. You talked last drive, the rugby scrum. Regina, their offense is far more spread out, kind of more traditional. Winnipeg is kind of more that bunch, that big set and run heavy. And Regina has just been swarming them, making that scrum. And you can't really run very far when there's 22 bodies all in the same spot.
And Clark gets a snap and looks for another sweep right. And again, swallowed up for not much of a gain there. It's going to be 2nd and long. And going back to last game, Kevin, I remember that the Wolfpack had a lot of success with their scrambles up the middle when Clark, the quarterback, would take the snap and call her own number up the middle. But it looks like backed up in a tough position like this, they may have to go to the air if they're going to get themselves out of a tough 2nd and 12 here. Another bunch set with only one receiver out wide left. And Clark gets a snap and looks to fake the handoff. And a rugby scrum is pushed up the middle for maybe a gain of a few.
And again, you look at that mass of people. They have one wide out a bit, and even then it's not extremely wide, so you have about 20 people all in that bunch. You're going to need a big push, and so look to Winnipeg. I think they're going to have to try to spread it out, if nothing else, even get some receivers out wide as decoys just to loosen up that middle. Because even Regina's touchdown, the last play there is spread, nice draw play, shotgun out of the shotgun, I believe.
That is true, Kevin. The bunch can sometimes be a bit of an Achilles heel, and Raposo here is back to get the snap to punt away. Sends the kick, spinning right kick. A little low, and it was dropped by Custer, but nonetheless she picks it up and she's bursting to the outside, and she's looking right, and she's getting towards the sideline, looking to make some moves, and tackled on the play. A great play there by Hackman to chase her down and stop her around the 20-yard line to prevent another kick return touchdown or punt return touchdown here on the play.
Yeah, you can. For me, just watching, you can tell Regina, their blockers a little bit more hesitant, trying to keep control, and they didn't get all the way to the end zone, but no flags. So something to build off of. It's better to be a little bit further not in the end zone than to have to go back further with a block to the back, or I think they've been blocked to the backs, not holding. So
Kowalski here in shotgun with one back. A bit of miscommunication and no left back there for the pitch, and Kowalski is going to take it outside. She's running left to the numbers, and she beats some of the defenders, and she runs into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown Regina Riot from Amy Kowalski. Kind of a busted play there, and I think she was looking for a dual back set, and she couldn't find the running back to the left of her, so she just hunkered down the field herself and took the ball in for another score for Regina.
And just turned on the jet and drove past everyone, all the way around, all the way to the sideline, and able to do it herself. Wow, just outran everyone.
Really athletic play there from Kowalski. That was great running, and looked like she had no trouble beating the linebackers to the outside there. And so here we are with another extra point awaiting for Turner. Snap, hold, kick is up and good. And that makes the score 14-0 in favor of the Regina Riot with 8:25 left in the first quarter.
While we wait for kickoff to set up, let's give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Backwood Boiler Boys. Stoves, fireplaces, outdoor boilets, wood, pellet, and gas. And, if you're Manitoba, I think it was 7 degrees here. It's cold. There's no sun. The wind's blowing. Might still be using heat. But yeah, give our friends and tell them thank you for helping us put on the WWCFL here in Eastside Eagles Football Club, Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Turner again, trotting back for a third kickoff here. Signals to the teammates. And it's off. And another deep kickoff here. Caught by Hackman at around the 25-yard line. She's running right side. And sheds a tackle, but not a second. And tackled on the play there by number 80 of the Regina Riot. And that's Hope Jordans.
Yeah, just a great first effort, but just if she would have got her shoulder free just a split second faster, I think she might have been able to continue running. But great play by Regina. You can't get him with the first guy. That's why you want your second guy there.
So the Wolfpack are going to set up here with 1st and 10 just outside of the 30-yard line at the 31. It's about a 5 or 6 yard return, only north-south. So Clark here again under center with another double tight bunch formation. Snap and fakes a handoff and looks to call her own number up the middle.
Yeah, again, you can see Regina. I mean, if they go in the bunch again, they don't even have deep back safeties. It is 11 people in the box. I think I've been actually saying it wrong. I'm thinking 11 people total, so with that one out. But no, there's 12 people total. So even with that one out, they have 11 people in that box. That's a hard amount of bodies to punch through if you're Winnipeg.
That is true, Kevin. And they might have to look to spread the field here in order to gain more yardage. And Clark sets up under center again. Here with Regina playing cover 0 with only one DB out. So snap and a fumbled ball, and it looks like it's recovered by the Regina Riot. Number 7, Mallory Starkey, picks up the loose fumble, and Regina are set up here with 1st and 10. Great field position at around the Wolfpack 27-yard line, it looks like, Kevin.
Yeah, and going back, if you're one-dimensional, you can send the house. You can send those 11 guys. That's a lot of pressure. Fumbles are going to happen on the handoff, on everything, and Regina just has Winnipeg's number right now.
So looking so, and Regina really sending a lot of pressure here on their D-line. And Kowalski set up with another drive in great field position. Motioning receivers. Pitches out to number 10, Kutsa Giannopoulos, and she looks right side, beats another defender, and she's tackled right before the end zone at around the 2 or 3 yard line. And it looked like number 15 for the Winnipeg Wolfpack, Sarah McClarty, was in and there on the play to stop the touchdown. And the ball is 1st and 10 for the Regina Riot on their 2 yard line. On the 2 yard line of the Wolfpack, I must say. And so 1st and goal with Regina knocking on the door and looking for more soon.
And props to, you said number 15?
Yeah.
Sarah tackling to keep with the play and not just giving up the touchdown there.
Kowalski under center this time. Hand off. And another score for the Regina Riot, touchdown. A bit tough to see who got the handoff on that play there, but
Number 54, Brittany Boschman. She's listed as an offensive lineman, but you can see the power just running through that tackle, and she wasn't going to be stopped.
Absolutely not, Kevin. And Boschman with a great plunge to break the plane of the goal line. And was able to put up another score for the Regina Riot, and Turner here awaiting the extra point. Turner snap, hold, kick is up and good. And another point after on the board makes it 21-0 for the Regina Riot with 6:08 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and this time. No, go ahead.
So again, another as you can see, Kevin, another great offensive drive, another short field for the Regina Riot to work with, and they punch in another score. And that's 3 rushing touchdowns here for them already in the first quarter alone. And it's looking like this running attack is really firing on all cylinders here against the Wolfpack, and they're going to have to get something going soon to make this a game. Otherwise, it might get out of hand fairly quickly. So Turner here signaling her teammates. And she's going to send another kickoff deep to the right, bouncing it around just outside the 30. Hackman picks up the ball, and she's running left side and gets a gain of about 10 yards or so and gets taken down just outside her 40-yard line. But number 86 from the Regina Riot, Terry-Ann Bartok.
That's the biggest positive play for Winnipeg so far, is that return. And I've said it in the last 2 drives now. I think they're really going to need to spread out because Regina's they're not looking for anything else right now. They're cramming 11 people, in that box, and they're not letting Winnipeg get through. So if you don't want, it's already 21-0 in the first quarter, you need to do something.
That is true. And set up here, another bunch formation. Clark under center, gets a snap. And she just gets swallowed up at the line there by 2 Regina defensive linemen. It looked like Juliana Cornish was in on the play to stop Clark for any positive gain on that one. And a 2nd and long again here.
It almost looked like she was looking for a quick pass, but again, when you're able just to send 11 people, you have no time. And she kind of bounced around between her 2 blockers in the backfield there, but no room, no time.
Here we go, 2nd and 10 for the Wolfpack. Clark under center, gets a snap and looks for a pitch, but instead a handoff to number 95, Kayla Kilborn, and she's taken down behind the line of scrimmage for about a loss of 3 or 4 yards. And once again, Coach Aaron Taylor is going to have to send out the punt team here to get some field position and give this Winnipeg Wolfpack defense some breathing room out of another tough offensive drive for the Winnipeg Wolfpack.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of creativity. It's that right side sweep too. That's far side from us. That's been their. I think they've run that play 1 or 2 times every single one of these 2 and outs, and you're going to need something. It's not working. Throw that play away. Bring it back maybe next half, but Winnipeg, you're going to need to do something different.
Raposo gets a snap, and she sends the punt away, and a higher punt this time. Bouncing with a great bounce there for Raposo, and it dribbles to around the 30-yard line. And Custer's going to get the benefit of a 5-yard, no-yard penalty here, and she's busting to the outside, and she beats a man, beats another, and she runs out of bounds at around just outside the 40-yard line of the Wolfpack. And again, looking back to where Custer picked up that ball, it's looking like it's going to be a no-yards penalty to add on about 5 to that return. Another great return by Custer, and Regina looking really clean on these special teams here, minus the few penalties that have wiped some touchdowns off the board, but Custer having a great day returning the ball so far. Mm-hmm. And again, the referee confirms the 5-yard net forward for the Riot. So the ball here spotted at around the 39-yard line for Regina. And they're going to set up 1st and 10 here. Kowalski with 3 slot backs out and 2 wide. 1 running back, and Kowalski gets a snap here and a flag on the play, but caught by number 87.
I'm guessing it's going to be offsides on Regina wiping that play out.
Yeah, Diane Nesbitt with a quick slant and catch there, but the head official is going to have to collaborate here to confirm that it is offside. Against the Wolfpack, actually.
Nope.
Oh, no, that was a mistake on his behalf. Or maybe there was offside on both. Nope. It's looking like it was offside against Regina only, and they're going to move back 5 to set up for 1st and 15.
You just got turned around, maybe.
Yeah, a bit of a confusion there from the head official, but no worries here. And so Kowalski's going to have to stir up another play here to gain some more positive yards, and that was a great throw there, but unfortunately negated by a penalty. But so 1st and 15 here for the Regina Riots, just inside the 45-yard line of the Wolfpack. Snap is back. And shotgun. Kowalski looks and she fires down the right sideline. Is caught by number 85. And she's going into the end zone for the touchdown. Jenna Collar on the play for the Regina Riot. And a great pitch and catch from Kowalski to Collar. And the DB was maybe about 5 yards behind the receiver there. And she was able to get behind that coverage. And again, a great throw by Kowalski. And a fourth score here on the board here for the Regina Riot. And Kevin, what did you see on that play?
Well, number 31, Brooke Peary, covering on the play. It looked like she stepped inside and then realized that the receiver was going straight. So I'm guessing that, you got that little fake juke there, little stutter stat inside, and that there was just days of separation between the two. So great to move to get that open, and great catch. Kind of bobbled it and kind of brought it in off the fingertips.
Extra point is good by Turner to make it a score of 28-0 in favor of the Regina Riot, with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining still in the first quarter of play. I'd like to give a shout out to one of our sponsors here, to Super 8 West Hotel. Super 8 West, located here on Pembina and located all over Winnipeg. Make sure to visit Super 8 West for all your needs to stay overnight anywhere around the city of Winnipeg.
Yeah, and just want to shout out to you people watching at home. Feel free to comment there on YouTube. You see, that's me there. That made the first comment, telling you to comment. See my kids in their Halloween costume. That's a few years old now. I should probably update that. But we like talking to you. If we mispronounce the name, please let us know. Rebecca.
Christogenopoulos.
Yeah, there.
Having a great game here.
Yeah.
And Turner signaling again her teammates for another kickoff.
You can help us pronounce that last name, we'd be really appreciative.
Sends it deep here to Hackman, who's looking to run up the middle, and she gets a great push and some good blocking from her team to get a nice positive gain of about 15 or 20 yards in that return there.
Again, that's pretty much been their only positive yards, has been her last two returns. And Winnipeg, please do something different than that bunch one out form, because it's not working. They have your number.
Another drive here set up for the Wolfpack, 1st and 10, just outside their 40-yard line at the 43. And with one wide out, looking like the Wolfpack may plunge to the right side here, and Clark gets a snap under center, and she rugby scrums up the middle for a nice positive gain of about 4 or 5 yards here. Like I'd mentioned to Kevin here earlier, going back to that successful offensive series from last game against the Fearless, that their best positive gains on offense were when Clark would just call her own number and plunge up the middle. Mm-hmm. So it looks like a gain of about 5 yards. And so we got second and manageable here for the Wolfpack. Clark under center. And a handoff here, but swallowed up at the line. Brittany Swanson isn't able to gain many yards and actually ends up going backwards about 3 yards. And it looks like Raposo is coming back onto the field again for another punt. So it's about 3rd and 8 from the 45-yard line of the Wolfpack. And Raposo looking again here to get another great bounce to hopefully give this Wolfpack defense some great field position.
Yeah, at least they're punting from a lot further up than the last few, and she had a great punt last time, able to get it between the returners. Just don't get a no yards penalty, don't be too overeager, and you could give your defense into better position.
So timeout called there by the Wolfpack. A bit of confusion with the numbers on this punt team here. So first timeout charged to them. This timeout is brought to you by our boys, Backwoods Boiler Boys. For any honest alternative heating solutions for our frigid Manitoba winters, visit backwoodsboilerboys.com. Raposo awaiting the snap. A great snap there. Oh! And it's blocked! Blocked on the play, and Raposo a bit too much time to get it off, and a costly turnover here. A momentum swing play for Regina. Ashley Clayton, number 25, with that block up the middle, and so a flip of 0 net on that play, and Regina's gonna flip the field right on a pivot, on a momentum swing play here, and they're setting up shop. Kowalski has the ball with their offense here just inside the 40-yard line at the 38.
I'm not sure if it's a momentum swing as much as a continued.
And a swing pass out there to number 8, Kyla Krenbrink, and she beats another player to the outside, and she's in for the touchdown for Regina. Touchdown pass, Kowalski to Krenbrink, and again another score on the board there for Regina to make it 34-0.
Yeah, there's no one covering her in the flat there. Winnipeg's pass coverage, it was deep, but again, when you do those short passes, because if you can get your person in space, you have a lot of steam. It's a lot easier, and they were able to do it. And again, another one-play drive by Regina, who are just teeing up on Winnipeg right now.
And again, another great pass there by Kowalski to Krenbrink, and Turner awaiting the extra point here. Snap, hold, up and good. And that extra point officially makes the score 35-0 in favor of the Regina Riot with 1:24 remaining in the first quarter of play.
Yeah, a lot of times you can make a halftime adjustment, but we're going to need a quarter-time adjustment by Winnipeg. Their offense, they're not really moving the ball. They probably have around a net 0 yards, losing yards on plays and gaining. But the defense, they're not covering. Regina is able to just spread out, which I think is what Winnipeg, they're just not able to cover that spread, and Regina is playing, just a very high caliber spread offense. They're doing everything. And Winnipeg has been one-dimensional, and it's not been a dimension that's working.
And here Turner again for the kickoff and sends it deep right. Caught by Hackman in stride, and she makes a nice run there for about 15 yards. And again, Kevin, as you mentioned earlier, another great net positive play for the Wolfpack here on special teams. This quarter is brought to you by The Hangar. Looking for a great time? Play some pool. Watch the baseball game. Stop by The Hangar, 121 Scurfield Boulevard today.
Yeah, you can see Hackman's return there as she's running off to the side, catching a breather. But you got to do something like that. She's able to get yards when she has space. So you see Regina doing that, creating space for your receivers and letting them get yards. Winnipeg is, again, they're coming in with that big bunch, which they've only really had one good play of 5 yards last. And it looks like they get another 5 yards there, but...
Clark, with another snap up the middle, and she scrambles for about 3 yards or so.
Ooh. There's a little extracurricular shoving at the end there. No flags thrown, though. Hear some coaches yell, "What are you doing?"
Again, don't want to cause any undisciplinary action at this point in the game here. And a decent gain of about 4 yards here, bringing up 3 or 4 yards. Wolfpack with the ball at their own 51-yard line. Looking about 2nd and 6 here. Clark again under center with dual back set. And she scrambles again for another about 3 yards or so, it looks like. Another scamper up the middle to bring about 3rd and 4 here for the Wolfpack, and it looks like Coach Aaron Taylor is going to keep the offense on the field, but only about 7 ticks remaining on the clock here, so this should be the last play of the first quarter, barring penalty. Clark looking to get a big push up the middle for a first down. Gets under center, gets a snap.
Oh!
Boots outside. And despite a gain of about 1 or 2, she's taken down short of the first down, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. And tackle on the play there from Regina by Mira Treblecock, number 17.
Great.
And that's the end of the first quarter. The score, is 35-0 in favor of the Regina Riot.
And we will be back with the second quarter shortly. Actually, we don't have commercials this time, so we'll just give a call out to our second quarter sponsor. I don't have the list on here. Oops.
The second quarter is brought to you by Pembina Source for Sports. For all your sporting needs, see Pembina Source for Sports.
And Glenn did not give me. I got Brewhouse, but so shout out to Brewhouse as well. Yeah, again, this is my first time working this. We talked about we got another game starting in about 20 minutes here. Manitoba is playing over in St. Vital, and so we had to put two teams together. So first time doing this.
Kowalski with the snap. She fires right side, way open downfield is number 85, Jenna Collar. And she is taken down. An arm tackle there made by Ray Penner, number 5. And what a great hustle play to not give up on that busted coverage down the right side of the field, and really stuck with Collar there to prevent another touchdown. But another big gainer there for Regina.
Yeah, Ray kind of got sucked up looking like she was going to come up in coverage. The play was shorter. And you got to stick with your person until you know beyond all reasonable doubt that they can't throw the ball, and they are able to throw a ball. Good play, running back again. Yeah, when we talk about arm tackle, usually you mean tackling with the arm. It's not holding on to the arm. It's almost like you see on the playground where, I didn't tackle you, but I'm going to hold on, and she was able to bring her down.
Kowalski here, first and goal, shotgun snap, looking to the right side, and she's going to fire into the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown by number 83, Jada Duval.
Wow, look at this passing attack. It's amazing. They're picking apart Winnipeg. They have receivers are catching all over the field. It's not just one or two people. And they're able to punch that in pretty easy. And the blocking, too. I mean, I don't think I saw a pass rush enter into contention there. Quarterback able just to sit back and do what you wanted to do.
Again, another passing touchdown there, second of the day for Kowalski. And Turner again back awaiting the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. And it makes the score 42-0 in favor of the Regina Riot with 13:39 remaining in the second quarter.
Rocky Hackman just blew by the corner there. She had a opportunity to block, not quite in time, but she'll be on the return team here. She's showing some spark on the return, and I can see her breaking one out, especially with how many chances she's getting this game.
And again, another score for the Regina Riot. And this game has quickly gotten out of hand here, and Regina almost with a 50-burger on the board, and still loads of time remaining in the second quarter alone. Not halftime yet, and the Wolfpack desperate for a response, and they're going to have to dig deep here in order to stop the bleeding and put a score up on the board and get some points, or potentially a turnover to swing momentum back into their favor. Turner here waiting and kickoff and signals her teammates and sends it deep left this time.
Ooh.
And it's fumbled on the play there by number 25, Brittany Swanson.
Ooh.
And the play blown dead there. And Swanson with no gain there on the play, and so the ball's going to be set down at the 27-yard line of the Winnipeg Wolfpack. The official blowing in the play there. So 1st and 10 again for Rebecca Clark and her offense. And they're going to have to look to get something going here, Kevin, in order to stop this bleeding and put up a fight.
Rocky Hackman looking a little frustrated, blocked a little extra at the end of the play there, and you heard Regina yelling, and I'm sure if it wasn't such a blowout, a flag could likely have been thrown. Some frustration creeping in.
Clark under center with a pitch up the middle, and Brittany Swanson is off to the races. She's going, and she might get tackled, and she does get caught at around the 34-yard line by number 36 and 17 in Regina. Number 17, Treblecock, and 36 there, Zuck, making a great chase down tackle to prevent a great off to the races run by Swanson there. And what a play, Kevin, there by the Wolfpack, and just breathing life into their offense. That was about a 40-yard run And now they have the ball 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line of the Regina Riot with great field position, their best of the day. Clark under center and gets a snap, calls her own number up the middle for a gain of a few. What did you see on that play there, Kevin?
Well, they made it look like they're doing their, kind of sweep out to the outside, but she stopped and she cranked it up the middle where Regina had already committed to covering the outside and the contain, and just no one left up the middle. And, she just got outran, otherwise she would have been gone. Great play by Regina to run her down to stick with her, but also, we told them to change it up, and it was a slight change. But hey, if a slight change can do that, then keep at it.
Couldn't agree more, Kevin, and a great play there by the Wolfpack offense, and Swanson with a nice burst up the middle to gain a handful, several yards. Big chunk here, and Clark with another handoff up the middle to Swanson, and she gains about 7 yards there on that play, and wrapped up again by Treblecock of the Regina Riot, and it's going to set up about a 3rd and 3 here for the Wolfpack. And Coach Aaron Taylor is going to keep his offense on the field, looking for more, looking for a first down, potentially some points to keep this drive alive here with the ball at the 32-yard line of the Riot.
Yeah, it's much the same play. Again, you kind of a fake sweep, cram up the middle, and good chunky yards. Not quite as much as, that's going to be false start.
It's looking like it, Kevin, and the official, the back judge there, throwing his flag. The head official does indeed confirm that it is illegal procedure on the Wolfpack, and just an unfortunate penalty there for them with gaining a lot of momentum and gaining yards forward, and now they're going to negate that last nice run they had there again by Swanson. And
I'm guessing they were trying for the hard count, get the first down on a defensive penalty, and I believe it was one of the backs there just forgot. She went and then she tried stopping herself, but you slam forward so hard out of your stance that there was no stop.
And again, 3 flags fly in this play, and Clark looking a bit frustrated from miscommunication there with her cadence.
4 flags, I think.
And the Wolfpack marching back another 5 yards, and this time Coach Aaron Taylor with no choice, but unfortunately to have to send out the punt unit, and Raposo is coming back onto the field. And you see there, Kevin, a great momentum swing in favor of the Wolfpack and gaining several yards from the great running of Swanson, but unfortunately negated by back-to-back illegal procedure penalties in here. The Wolfpack have no choice but to punt with more than 3rd and 10 on their hands.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're trying to switch it up. It's working. Oh, no.
Fumbled snap on the play there by Raposo, and she's going to have to take it herself. And she's dragged down on the play there by number 25, Ashley Clayton. And Clayton making another play on Raposo on back-to-back punts. And a turnover on downs by the Wolfpack. And from what started with a promising drive, ends in about a negative gain of 15 yards. Away from their 3rd and short that they had there on the Regina Riot 32, and the field is now flipped on the Wolfpack's heads, and Kowalski looks to set up shop here. Or maybe not Kowalski. Or maybe so, yeah. She's still in the game, yeah. And 1st and 10 here for the Riot at the 43-yard line. Kowalski stepping back and shotgun looking, fires over the middle, and almost intercepted by Ann Smith of the Wolfpack, able to get a hand to it. But a lucky bounce there, and so the Regina Riot maintained possession with 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it looked like quarterback was thinking Hope was going to keep going, and Hope cut in on an in route. So a little miscommunication, overthrown. Luckily overthrew Ann Smith just by a touch, but she was able to knock it up. And sometimes you can knock it up and someone else comes in, but lucky break for Regina.
Kowalski another shotgun snap again here. Pitch out to number 21, Jenna Merck. And she's looking right side and is met at the line of scrimmage by Raposo, who takes her down out of bounds. And a great play by the Wolfpack front 7 there. Raposo able to snuff out the attack, and Regina with their first punt of the game here with 9:32 left in the second quarter. And a great defensive series here by the Wolfpack is going to get them the ball back without giving up a score. And so you must say, Kevin, that might be a good thing here for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Wolfpack, you let up 35 points in the first quarter. It's almost halfway through the second. You're down 42-0. You're not thinking win right now. What you're trying to do is fix the mistakes and let's win from here on. And so, yeah, stopping the first stop in a while.
Turner's punt bounces down to around the 20-yard line. Split Hackman and Swanson. And Hackman picks it up, and she's taken down for maybe a gain of 1 or 2. And so a great bounce there from Turner. She's having a great day punting and kicking so far. And
just able to put it exactly, knowing, making the returners run. And, of course, if you can't handle it cleanly, then it becomes that much more dangerous as a returner. What do you do? And you have to completely adjust your return. It's not training. It's kind of more instinct. But first of all, you have to make sure the ball stays in your hand and able to get on them quickly. So Winnipeg holding the opposing offense to decent field position. Well, a great punt. It's like, well, wasn't that decent, I guess.
Clark here under center with the ball, 1st and 10. And we got a flag on the play on the far left side, and looking like the sideline official might be signaling there for offside against the Riot. Maybe someone jumped into the neutral zone. We got a Wolfpack shaking up there on the play. But the head official signaling for offside against the Wolfpack. But the penalty is declined, so it'll set up 2nd and 10 for the Wolfpack. And got an injured Wolfpack here in the field, though. Can't quite make out who that is. Can you, Kevin?
No, her numbers are straight in the sky, and our drone man sitting next to me. We don't have another cameraman, so we can't fly his drone.
And it looks like it is Brittany Swanson as she turns over there and favoring what looks like to be her shoulder or her arm, and hopefully she's okay. That'd be a huge blow for the Wolfpack at this point of the game. She's had some great running today and has been one of their best players so far. And Swanson's able to get up.
Maybe just a bit winded. Gets up and then has to kind of bend over, but hopefully it's just that, because being winded, it sucks, but nothing's damaged, so that's always good. She makes it off on her own power after catching her breath.
A good sign for the Wolfpack, and hopefully she's able to return soon to bring some more sparks back to their offense. So you get 2nd and 8 here for the Wolfpack. Clark under center. With a pitch outside to Hackman. Runs for about 2 yards.
Another quick 3rd down.
Another quick 2-and-out here for the Wolfpack, but Coach Aaron Taylor is keeping his offense on the field, and most likely with a nothing-to-lose mentality at this point in the game. He's not looking to punt the ball away continuously, and so the Wolfpack will stay on the field for 3rd and 5. So Clark with a handoff to Hackman. And she's tackled for a loss. And that's a turnover on downs again. A back-to-back turnover on 3rd down for the Wolfpack. And so the Regina Riot are going to get, again, some amazing field position here deep into the territory of Winnipeg.
Well, yeah, like you said, there's really nothing to lose at this point. When you punt the ball away, it's never a moral victory. At best, it's a moral stalemate. At this point, well, we're already losing this bad. Getting a 3-and-out isn't going to, or a turnover on down isn't going to really kill us much. But if you get a big play, it can really put some, pep in your steps. So why not at this point?
That is true, Kevin. And here, Kowalski motions the receivers for 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of the Wolfpack. And a handoff outside to number 16. And a fumble there on the play.
And the refs are going to confer. It looks like Chanel Riot had the ball first, but did she hold on to it? Because Winnipeg was able to strip it away pretty easy on the ground. Of course, if they say she had possession on the ground, then it'll remain Regina's.
We're going to wait here from what the officials have to say about that play and rule if it is indeed a fumble and recovered by the Wolfpack, or if the Riot will maintain possession. This second quarter is brought to you by Pembina Source for Sports. For all your sporting needs, visit Pembina Source for Sports. Officials here talking it over, and it is indeed Winnipeg Wolfpack football. And a fumble in the play there by Chanel Riot. And the Wolfpack making another great defensive play here to maintain possession and prevent another scoring drive for the Riots. So they get the ball here 1st and 10 at their 32.
That's just going to be a moral victory for Winnipeg. Again, we talked about let's win from here to the end of the game, and that's a good way to start.
So 6:45 remaining here in the second quarter, and Clark gets under center, gets a snap and calls her own number up the middle, and she plunges and is still running. And refs blow the play dead. Looks like got a gain of about 4 yards for Clark there. Nice little run. And as you said, Kevin, these small little victories can add up to a lot bigger successes here for the Wolfpack, and they're looking to add upon the momentum that they've gained from a defensive stop and from some good runs here in the second quarter.
And it lets you, you had a lot of flaws this game, so you do stuff, you tweak stuff. Now you can almost tweak stuff on the fly without really caring if it succeeds or not. So you keep going at 100% because you're just building for next time. Ooh.
And handoff there, and a big hit late on the play from number 56 or the 36, pardon me, of the Regina Riot, Adrian Zuck.
Nice solid thunk. Stopped any momentum that Kayla Kilborn had coming around the outside there.
Clark getting the signal in from Coach Aaron Taylor to their offense coordinator, I must say, from Coach Wallace to stay on the field here again for another 3rd and 5 and looking for a first down and maybe more. So Clark here getting under center. Gets the snap and looks back to pass for the first time, and she fires over the middle.
Oh.
And it's incomplete and almost intercepted by the Riot, in and out of the hands of Ann Smith, but no matter. The Regina Riot prevents a completion on the play for a 3rd consecutive turnover on downs for the Wolfpack, and so the Riot here are going to set up with 1st and 10 at the 38 of the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if she called an audible or something. I know she kind of tapped her center. And Regina they had 8 people around that receiver, and still the receiver had a chance at it. She didn't really look back for the ball. The ball was there. So, Regina has put so much pressure so hard, and yet they're able to cover in the first pass Winnipeg's done all game.
Kowalski with a handoff to number 16 outside, and she runs out of bounds, and that's Chanel Riot. And she runs out of bounds at around the 15-yard line of the Wolfpack for a gain of about 23 yards on that play. Referee blowing in the play here, and it's about the 20-yard line, pardon me. And so the Riot are going to get 1st and 10 here inside the red, just at the beginning of the red zone here of the Wolfpack. So Kowalski with 3 slots and 1 running back who leaks out, and Kowalski's by herself, and she fires over the middle, and it's caught by number 83, Jada Duval, and she's in for another score. Touchdown, Regina Riot. And as you can see there, Kevin, on that play, it looked like Kowalski looked off her receivers on the left side there in the Wolfpack. Miscommunication or whatever you may call it. Duval makes a nice drag just over the middle of the field, no more than 5 yards north of the line of scrimmage, and is able to get in front of the linebackers of the Wolfpack to slip in again for another score for Regina. And Turner awaiting the extra point here. Snap.
Ooh.
Hold is fumbled a bit, but no matter. Turner is able to put it in, and that makes the score now 49-0 in favor of the Regina Riot with 4:10 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd say, was there a mistake by Winnipeg? It's honestly, I didn't see any glaring ones. It was just you have 6 people spread out, and Regina's offense has just been so complete, running, passing, mixing. I mean, when you're able to run from the spread, it's hard on the defense because you don't get an idea. They're in the spread. Is it a run? Is it a pass? Usually you kind of know, but yeah, I mean, what can you do? They have 6 people, all of them just deadly targets running around on you. You're covering your zones. They're transferring through zones, and that's what you get. It's just Regina's offense. It's total and complete, and it is running over Winnipeg's defense.
Turner here again out for another kickoff, and signaling her teammates as the play's blown in. She sends it away deep left, and bounces and hits the feet of Swanson, and she just hits the deck there at the 29-yard line and doesn't want to risk losing the ball there. Smart play from Swanson, and so the Wolfpack are going to get the ball here. 1st and 10, a football length outside of their 29-yard line.
Just what perfect kick placement by Regina, kicking, punting, just short of the range of the receivers, so they can't get under the ball. I mean, we saw Rocky Hackman making some great returns end of last quarter. Well, now they're just not letting them. You can't get 10 yards if you can't get to the ball in time. And, I mean, it hits off her foot, and just great kick placement.
Clark gets a snap, and
rugby scrum.
And a handoff up the middle there to Christy Reith, number 41. Her first carry of the day.
One little girl here calls out puppy pile. That was 23 people all in one area, and Winnipeg not wanting to go down. That took a while for that whistle to blow. I mean, meant the ball was still moving. And
so we got now a 2nd and long here, about 2nd and 8 for the Wolfpack, with 3:15 remaining in the second quarter. Clark gets under center. So no movement there. The hard count. And Swanson breaks up the middle. And she's off to the races again for another gain of about 15 or 17 yards there, and tackled on the play by Adrian Zuck of the Riot. And Swanson with another great run here for the Wolfpack, really leading their offense with a vast majority of yards today. And the officials are collaborating here, but unsure of what they're discussing.
And the chain gang was a little slow to move too. It's kind of strange. Talking timeouts.
And the head official blows officially for the 3-minute warning. 2:58 remaining in the second quarter. Wolfpack 1st and 10 just outside the 50-yard line at the 51. Looking for more. Clark under center here. Snap, and another pitch here to Kayla Kilborn. And she's only going to gain about 1 or 2 yards in this play. Gang tackled by a slew of Riot defenders.
Mm-hmm. Great effort, but yeah, again, Regina's just been all over these little handoffs and sweeps. Usually, I mean, Brittany Swanson has broken out a couple times, but in general, Regina not giving an inch, and that was a lot of effort by the back there, but there's no room.
So here the Wolfpack have 2nd and 8 at the 53-yard line. Clark under center, and with a handoff up the middle to just have a look there and see. Underneath that rugby scrum again. And it does indeed look like it is Christy Reith with another handoff, and she gains about 2 or 3 yards on that play. And so here we are again. The Wolfpack have another 3rd and 5. And they're looking for a first down here to keep this offense rolling with just outside 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
And Regina's defense, you can kind of see them after the plays if you're watching them. you can tell that they've kind of just dialed in, knowing Winnipeg's not going to change it up because they don't go in a huddle at all. They just kind of get back to the position.
Clark here calls her number and fakes a handoff, and it looks like she's going to be tackled well short of the first down. And as you can see, the Riot offense trotting back onto the field. It's going to be, again, another turnover on downs for the Wolfpack. And so the Regina Riot are going to set up with a 1st and 10 at their own 50-yard line with 1:51 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, as I was saying about Regina's defense, a couple of them will look to the sideline just to make sure the coach isn't waving anything at them, but they're almost playing like a hurry-up defense, except for Winnipeg's going back and making a play. But when you're able just to do the same thing on defense over and over again, you get pretty good at it. You get pretty comfortable, and it gets, of course, they did give up 5 yards, but they held the sticks, and now their offense gets the ball again.
And it looks like we got a new quarterback into the game, and we got a pitch outside again to Kutsagianopoulos, and she runs for about 9 yards. And that's Josie Shannon is now the new quarterback into the game for the Regina Riot. And as I can probably guess, Kevin, it looks like Coach Morgan Bruce of the Riot is probably trying to make sure to reserve his starting quarterback, Kowalski.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw. I mean, she's dangerous in the pocket there, and so you don't need a hit on that throwing arm. That, and you just kind of get to see what other people can do in different situations.
So Shannon again with a fake pitch one way, and Kutsagianopoulos is going to get forward progress here, it looks like, from the spotting of the officials for just enough for a first down.
Commentator of the year for saying that name over and over again goes to you, I think.
Well, it looks like, first down is signaled here for the Riot.
It looks like they're almost kind of practicing, they're not huddling, they're just the coach signals. So again, maybe just practicing different ways of doing things as a team. And
so here we go. So Shannon in the shotgun. She drops back to pass and fires over the middle, and a caught by number 80. That's Jordan's, and she's running up the middle and finally gets brought down by Hackman on the play there. And it looks like Hackman was trying to wrap up for a little while there and finally able to bring down Jordan's. So with 48 ticks remaining and just inside the red zone of the Wolfpack, the Riot are knocking on the door for what's looking like an 8th score here. Shannon getting the offense to the line here.
And again, not a full-on huddle.
Back into hurry up. Shannon with the shotgun snap. Hands off to Kutsagianopoulos, and she runs left out to the outside, and she's looking for another score, and she spins, and she's tackled.
Oh, just
and it
short.
Looks like she's shy of the goal line. Just outside, maybe at about the 1 or 2, I'm guessing. And with just under a play clock left, you'd have to think that Regina's going to want to hurry back to the line to get in another score here before halftime. First and goal here.
Looks at about 1.5.
Yeah, just in between the 1 and the 2. 5 seconds remaining. Shannon gets the snap. Handoff Kutsagianopoulos.
Oh!
She's tackled short of the goal line. And that's the signal for halftime. And the Regina Riot are not able to punch in another score. And positive takeaway for the Wolfpack there is preventing another touchdown right before half. And especially in the 1.5 yard line, that's not an easy thing to do. And the Wolfpack had some great stops last week against the Fearless, short of the goal line a handful of times. And so that brings us here to halftime with the score in favor of the Regina Riot, 49-0.
Yeah, and if you're Winnipeg, I mean, I was saying, I think from their 3rd or 4th drive, you're going to have to try to do something a little bit different here, especially on offense. Yeah, you've gotten 2 bigger runs, and you got 2 runs for 5 yards, and then the rest has been 2 or less. And that one pass was a pretty good play. Regina seemed to have sniffed it out, though. But yeah, otherwise you just all runs, all pretty much the same kind of runs. going to have to do something different in the second half, or it's going to be a 100-point game with the way things are going.
Yeah, again, as you point out, Kevin, it's been a really tough showing today for the Wolfpack, unfortunately, and the Riot running all over this field and having their way with the Wolfpack defense. And as you can see from their balanced offensive attack, equal running and throwing has been successful for them today, and it's no surprise with what the score is here based off of the performance from that Riot offense, and the defense and special teams also complementing and really making sure to help out the rest of their team.
Just complete all around. So we'll be right back. Just a short break here. We don't have a commercial, so we'll get you a good view of. I think we'll just put it on the scoreboard here, but give us a break as well here. But we'll be back in about 13 minutes. The scoreboard says with the second half, WWCFL, Regina versus Winnipeg.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back here to this WWCFL game at Eastside Eagles Field, where the Regina Riot are in control of the Winnipeg Wolfpack 49-0 here at the start of the third quarter.
Yeah, Winnipeg's going to have to do something different, and I'm wondering if this kickoff, this is conspiracy theory to me. Do something different here, maybe right from the start, or will they just boom it? It's a boom.
Raposo sends it deep. Nice kickoff there and bounces up to around just inside the 30, and Custer picks it up, and she's off to the races once again, and she beats Raposo outside and brought down to the play there by Jen Rands, I must say.
Your last name pronunciation has been so spot on that we'll give that slight difference a pass.
So here the Regina Riot bring out their offense once again. And it looks like again here that Josie Shannon will lead the offense for the Regina Riot, with 1st and 10 spotted around the 47-yard line of their own half.
So let's hope Winnipeg can do something a little bit different here.
Shannon pitches out to number 21, Jenna Merck. And she runs for about a gain of 3 yards potentially.
Haven't called Merck's name either, so it looks like they are going to just rotate a few different people here.
That's right, Kevin. It looks like Coach Morgan Bruce is kind of shaking things up personnel-wise to give some rest to his starting players that have already built this insurmountable lead. And so Shannon looks at about 2nd and 5, actually, I must say. So the ball is moved up to the 52. Close to midfield here. Shannon with a shotgun set.
And to those just maybe joining in, it is a 49-0 Regina over Winnipeg. Just a dominant first quarter. 35 points in the first quarter alone.
And an incompletion there to number 30 of the Regina Riot, which is Catherine Cabalis. So that's going to bring 3rd down and the third punt of the day for the Regina Riot.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is the 3rd drive stoppage from Winnipeg in a row we had right at the end of the half. Just stopping them before the goal line and after the time had run out. And drive before that was a punt and a punt here. So, again, we talked about just winning from here on out. And Winnipeg is shoring up. And, of course, probably helps that Regina doesn't have all their starters in, changing things around. But a moral victory, I think, for Winnipeg, just kind of turning this game.
Caller with the punt that is whistled dead in the air, as the officials do for reasons of safety, and a short spinning punt to the right. Only about a gain of about 20 yards maybe on that punt, and so the Wolfpack are going to get some great, excellent field position here from a bit of a shank punt there from the Riot, from Jenna Caller, who's punting now in place of Morgan Turner. So the Wolfpack will set up here. Rebecca Clark and her offense are going to trot to the line for 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
I don't know if I should feel offended. You call it a short punt. That's about the max my range on a good day when it's hot outside.
Hey, if there's anything I can say from experience, is kicking isn't as easy as it looks. And so Clark calls her own number up the middle, looks like.
Bounced around side. Looked like she almost got, but one arm was able to slow her down.
And it looks like a tackle on the play there for the Riot, as Clark tried to sweep left end and gains about 2 yards on that play there, so setting up 2nd and 8 here for the Wolfpack.
And just to all of our viewers, you can see in the comments section there, feel free to give us a shout. We always like talking to our fans. If you have any questions, of course, 49-0 Regina over Winnipeg here in the 3rd quarter.
Clark under center, and we got some motion in the backfield and a handoff here. It looks like difficult to tell at the moment, but that is indeed a handoff to Kayla Kilborn, as I had suspected, and no gain on the play. Maybe a couple. It looks like no gain on the play there. So Raposo out again here to punt, and another 3rd and long for the Wolfpack.
Going back to punting, they went for it on 3rd down the last few times and didn't really hurt them. Of course, like we said, Regina hasn't put up a score in a bit, but going back to more traditional football.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. And with the new half going, want to play it safe and Raposo out, punts and short to the right and a bit of a sideways bounce. And the return of the play there, it did look like, yes, it was Cabalis, number 30 for the Riot. And short punt there, it looked like only about 10 yards or so from Raposo. And with a 5-yard, no yards penalty that's going to be called there.
It almost looked like she was aiming at the punt coverage, or the punt blockers going back with the coverage. She was almost looking to hit one of them, maybe trying for a fumble. So maybe we call it traditional football. Maybe it wasn't traditional. They're trying to practice a sneak play to slide in the back pocket.
Maybe, yeah, that's true, Kevin. They might have been looking for what it looked like an onside punt, but unfortunately with only a gain of about a net of 8 yards here, Shannon and offense have great starting position. Pitch out to the right side to number 16, Chanel Ryu, and she's tackled well in the backfield by number 87 of the Wolfpack, Mubo Ilalaboye.
A lot better than how I could have pronounced it.
And a nice tackle in the play there by Ilalaboye. And so the Regina Riot only have the ball here with 2nd and long at midfield. Shannon and company are backed up quite a bit. Let's see what they do here on 2nd and long. Shotgun formation. Shannon gets a snap, looks back to pass, and fired over the middle, but batted down at the line of scrimmage. Another lucky break there for the Riot. What could have been potentially a turnover. Interception there but amongst the defensive players on the D-line, but
I think that was 54 Brianne Ward. Don't quote me on that, but great heads-up play as a defensive lineman. Of course, that's kind of the thing, even in the top pro leagues where you don't always have the defensive line, and they're the standouts know that if you don't get to the quarterback, raise your hands and knock it down. And so great heads-up play to not let Regina get a bunch of yards.
Caller gets a nice snap back and sends it away farther this time, and just clacked Hackman right there underneath her chin strap, but she's able to secure the ball and gains maybe about 2 yards in that return. And nice punt there by Caller, better this time, and so that's going to set up a 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack at about their 32-yard line.
A line drive punt like that's hard to play. It just comes streaking in on you. So great play by Hackman. But good job by the coverage team, because the reason why you don't see more line drive punts is it doesn't leave much time for the coverage team to get down there. You kind of want that hang time so your people can get down there and make the play. But they were there quickly, not letting Hackman get ahead of steam, as we've seen her get some big chunks on returns this game already.
Clark under center. And a handoff to Kilborn to the right side, and she's sweeping, but unfortunately gets tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be a loss of a few for the Wolfpack, and they're going to be backed up here for another 2nd and long at their 31-yard line instead, it looks like.
Now, it might be a little thing, but Winnipeg looks like they're running a little bit harder now than they have been since, the start of the game. Maybe a bit of talking from the coach, just say, hey, do you know what? Chin up, let's win the rest of the game. Or, let's change this or whatever. But seem to have a bit more fire, not as deflated. And we'll see if that'll turn into a more exciting second half.
Clark with a handoff to the left side, and looked like Swanson got the handoff left end there. And she's tackled at the line of scrimmage, it looks like. So, again, another 3rd and long and 2 and out for the Wolfpack. And this quarter is brought to you by Case. Case, one of our sponsors. Make sure you go check out Case. And a snap there. That's fumbled, and Raposo jumps on it before the Riot can recover there. And so it looks like it's going to be great field position starting for the Riot inside the 25-yard line of the Wolfpack. So as I was saying before, Case Financial Group brings you the sponsorship of this quarter. make sure to check out Case Financial Group for all your financial needs.
Yeah, I hope I got that again. It's my first time deciding when to switch from logos to camera, so hopefully I got that on play. Apologize, but just a botch snap. Well, it's kind of just hard, I think. It hit underneath her chin.
That is true here. And Shannon with a handoff up the middle in the read option formation, and it looks like Jenna Merck gets a handoff of about 3 or 4 yards there. So with time ticking away here in this third quarter, only about 5:15 remaining, and you got to think at this point of the game with the score this wide, that run time would be appropriate on the behalf of the Wolfpack to prevent any more opportunities for the Riot to have way more time to put up scores. And it looks like their defense is really starting to pick it up a lot better here, but they're going to need to dig in a little more to prevent a score here again as Shannon looks in shotgun, awaiting the snap, and she drops back to pass, and she's looking to the left side of the field, and she scrambles out to the left here, and she's got a few Wolfpack D linemen trailing her, and she gets a block to the outside, and she runs out of bounds short of the first down.
Great play by number 60, Sheena Morissette on Winnipeg Wolfpack, putting that pressure and breaking up that play. Good job, rest of it, because we saw in the first quarter, able to get, No, it wasn't Josie Shannon who was quarterback at the time. Anyway, and they're able to get a huge play off it, but they're able to keep Josie contained this time.
3rd and short here for the Riot, and they're going. They won't bring out the field goal unit. Instead, Josie Shannon surveys the field and is looking for more and motioning her receivers. She's awaiting the shotgun snap and fakes pitch out to the right and left back to Jenna Merck, and Merck is up the middle, and she's running down for the first down and gets tackled at around the 5-yard line on the play by Ray Penner, who brings her down short of the goal line, and that's another first down for the Regina Riot, and we got a 1st and goal here now set up well inside the territory of the Wolfpack.
I think that play is just showing that, it looks like a time.
It looks like a Wolfpack on a knee there. That's number 92.
Yeah.
Taylor Wigston. Hopefully she's all right. Just a bit nicked up and get some health off the field from the trainer there.
But I think that play, it just shows the difference between the two offenses and why Regina is winning. Regina they have every tool in the toolkit and they're using it. You know, it looks like a, first of all, you got a shotgun, you're spread, and you're running the ball and you're doing it well. So it looks like a toss out to the outside there, far from us. But then the running back comes back in and gets a handoff down and in and able to make it big after you have the defense just, committing to another play. Regina, they've called a couple of the same plays, but, usually it's a similar play. It's not the exact same one. And they have a lot, and they're executing them all. And Winnipeg they don't have enough defense to cover everything that Regina's throwing from a spread shotgun offense.
Shannon awaiting the snap and shotgun, and she looks to the left side and fires an incomplete pass intended on the play there for number 8, Kyla Krenbrink. So that brings up 2nd and goal for the Riot at the 5.
And
just under 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter here.
I think Krenbrick is the first time he called her name, and again, another big bonus to Regina is they're able to spread that ball out. I think 4 or 5 different receivers so far in the game, 3 or 4 different runners, 2 quarterbacks. Everyone can touch the ball and do something with it.
Shannon looks out left again, fires into the end zone, and passes incomplete again for Krenbrink, and pass defended on the play there by number 31, Brooke Peary of the Winnipeg Wolfpack, and so that's going to bring up 3rd and goal. And we're going to want to take a look to see here what Coach Morgan Bruce has. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field, and he's signaling to Shannon for another go here at 3rd and goal for a touchdown.
Yeah, especially when you're this far on the hash, that just makes for an awkward kick, so may as well keep everyone on. And
Shannon looks again left, swing pass out to number 16, and she's in for the touchdown. Chanel Ryu scores for the Regina Riot to further widen this lead here in the third quarter with 1:57 remaining, and the score is 55-0, awaiting the extra point from Morgan Turner.
Yeah, you had a kind of a short out and curl out, and you have an up and out, and now you have a swing pass, and you have, flats, and you just every single pass. We've had long stretch passes and ins and slants and posts and flags, and I don't know. I think that's all the passes I know of. But you've seen a little bit of everything from Regina as they put up the extra point. And it shows. It's been fun to watch, but as being someone here from Manitoba cheering for, well, I won't say I'm cheering for Winnipeg because I'm not supposed to do that apparently, but it's just like, Winnipeg, what can we do? We gotta find something out because Regina is able to do a little bit of everything and they're able to do it well.
And so that tacked on extra point from Morgan Turner makes us score 56-0 with 1:57 remaining in the third quarter here. And this third quarter again is brought to you by Case Financial. Visit Case Financial Group for all your financial needs. Turner again back to kick off. And it looks like Hackman and Swanson there switching things up deep to make sure they get the ball in the hands of the returner that they'd like to be running down the field for them. And Turner kicks left outside the numbers, and it's bouncing, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Regina Riot.
Oh.
And unfortunately, Hackman asleep at the switch, and maybe in a bit of a mindset of punt coverage that they can't recover, but on kickoff, every player is offside because the kicker is the lead. And the Riot recover an unintentional onside kick and are going to set up with Shop first and 10 at the 28-yard line of the Wolfpack.
Yeah, you said it. Just probably thinking punt, don't go touch the ball, risk the fumble. But in that situation, you have to, even if you just run and kick it out of bounds, do something. Just a mental blurb, and Regina has the ball again.
So Shannon here looking for more with the offense. First and 10. Shotgun snap and pitch out to number 16. Chanel Ryu, and she beats Raposo to the outside, and she's running for more and goes out of bounds just at around the 18-yard line of the Wolfpack. So with 56 ticks remaining and counting here to go, the Riot again gain another first down and are looking for more, entering the red zone of the Wolfpack again.
Quarterback Josie Shannon telling the ref, get out of the way, I'm looking at my coach. Little hand wave.
So a new set of downs here for the Riot. Motioning receivers. Back leaks out of the backfield, and Shannon fires to the right side and caught by number 8, which is again Kyla Krenbrink, and she's brought down, and we've got about one play left here in the third quarter as the clock ticks down to double zeros.
Drag route. I forgot that kind of route in my long after the last touchdown, and that's what we saw there. Almost looks like they're trying to get Krenbrink a touchdown here. Okay, that 2 targets last time, and now they're.
And she, as you saw her leak, just in front of the noses of the linebackers, the Wolfpack, and Shannon awaiting a shotgun snap here. Handoff up the middle again to Merck. She's tackled for a gain of a few. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter here at Eastside Eagles Field with the score in favor of the Regina Riot, 56-0. And so we're going to flip over quickly here to the fourth quarter. And once again, to remind you, this fourth quarter is brought to you by Case Financial Group. Make sure to look to Case Financial Group for all your financial needs.
So a faster quarter, of course, when you're not scoring, every drive. Like that first quarter just seemed to drag on, and Winnipeg they are doing a little bit better than that first quarter. but still Regina. Again, just the offense is on fire, and Winnipeg offense really not showing a lot of looks, so Regina defense able to key in. But I think player of the game is Regina offense, just everyone on it, just able to execute anything. A lot of different calls, a lot of different looks, spread offense, shotgun, under center, whatever you call, they're able to do it, and they're just running over Winnipeg right now, running around, not really running over, just running around them. Making space and hitting those holes. So
that's right, Kevin. And as we see here, another shotgun formation. Shannon looks, fires to the left side, and in and out of the hands of number 30 of the Regina Riot, which is Catherine Cabalis.
Another new name.
And that's her second or third involvement here in the backfield. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to see, yeah, that is bringing us here to second and goal. As the clock ticks down here with 14 minutes left. Shannon in shotgun formation with 3 slot, 2 wide, and a single back to her left side. Shannon boots left, fires, caught, and taken down before the goal line by Hackman. There was Kyla Krenbrink, but we do have a flag in the play there.
Krenbrink kind of running outside, avoid the tackle. I think if she would have just lunged forward, she would have been in.
That is true, Kevin. I would have to agree with you there. As you can see how close she was to the goal line. But the head official is, yes, indeed, going to signal for offside against the Wolfpack. And that's going to set up Regina half the distance to the goal.
Redo that down.
And as you can see from that last play there, and all that would be needed for a touchdown is just repeat yardage in order to boost this score a little further. And it's the officials just having a bit of a discussion here.
Oh, I guess they declined it. Maybe.
We'll see here.
Maybe they decided inches on third is better than a few feet on second, or 5 yards on second.
Signal that he wants them to take it. Well, a bit of confusion here amongst the officials. We'll see how they get this sorted out.
Which one has the ball? Okay, it's right up.
So it is third and goal on the 1 of the Winnipeg Wolfpack.
So hand gestures, come together, juggle the ball, go.
And looking for some, like you said, they're traditional
There's
signaling, and Shannon in shotgun.
A lot behind her in that backfield.
Snap over the head, but it looks like it's intentional as it goes to number 16. That is again Chanel Ryu, and she's in for the touchdown. Kevin, I don't know what we saw there, but I'm not sure if that was intentional or unintentional, but regardless, it worked, and Ryu getting the snap, what looks like a bad snap over the head of Shannon. And regardless, 6 points is 6 points, and that.
Well, it kind of makes sense, I was reading the coach's hand, he kind of the come together gesture. So all the wide out people come behind the quarterback, juggle the ball, make it look like you're losing the ball, and then go. And I guess they did that. I mean, usually you represent something with your hands, and there's no representation there. You're telling them exactly what to do, but
Extra point good by Turner, and an excellent observation there, Kevin. I never would have thought about it that way from such an obvious standpoint, but as you can see, it clearly works. As the extra point now makes the score officially 63-0 in favor of the Regina Riot.
Yeah, normally I do baseball, so you kind of wipe the brim of your hat, and that can mean a bunt or swing for power, or all this stuff. And here at football, no, we don't hide what we say. We're just going to, and when you're able to just run it down the other team, who knows? Maybe you don't have to hide it, or maybe they're expecting you to be hiding things. So. Yeah, I was just kind of jokingly saying, oh, that's what they're going to do. And if you think about it, hey, and it worked. It was an interesting, almost a fumble rooski. Usually the fumble rooski hits the ground, but
Looked like the opposite of a fumble rooski there, Kevin. And instead of a fumble and placement underneath the lineman, we had a snap go over someone's head to an alternate running back. So Turner looking to kick this off deep and sends it left as a pooch and looking to recover again.
Oh no, and they do.
Recovered again by the Regina Riot. A sky kick, a bit of a surprise onside, but this time intentional by Turner and her special teams unit. And Regina getting a second onside kick in a row. And the official has confirmed the signal that Regina will maintain possession. And just another unfortunate blunder there for the Wolfpack to not be awake on special teams to recover that onside kick there. And now we can see here that Regina's really starting to pour it on with only 11:18 remaining in this fourth quarter, and Shannon and company have another set of downs here looking for more.
Yeah, and they're having fun with it. Doing. I mean, when you have this big lead, you could go into the back playbook, the backyard plays, the schoolyard plays, and try some things. That one looked a little more intentional than their first one, which was just kind of a blunder on the receiving team. This one kind of the short pooch and get there before the other team realizes they have to jump on it.
And you can see here a handoff right side, and Merck is tackled on the play there by, looks like number 87, which is, again, Mubo Ilelaboye from the Winnipeg Wolfpack, and she's down on a knee.
Ilelaboye? But yeah, it's... You kind of heard at the end of the play, Regina kind of calling out. I think they're wanting a horse collar, but I don't think at this point of the game, unless it was a little more egregious. Oh, you're the one with the good words.
Egregious.
Egregious, that's the one.
That's what you're looking for.
And that they're going to call it. But we'll give a shout out to last sponsor of the game, Call-Ins Hotel and Weiser's Restaurant and Bar.
Make sure you visit Calls In Hotel and the restaurant and bar for great times, great food, and great friends. Calls In.
She's able to get off, and don't know if winded or kind of grabbing her side there, so can kind of pull something and makes it hard to walk.
So second and long here. Set up for the Regina Riots at around the 39-yard line for them.
Waiting for the injured player to get fully off the field. Now the ref says, let's go.
Shannon, dual back set, balanced, shotgun formation, looking for a swing pass to the left. And just over the head of the intended receiver, Chanel Ryu.
Chanel's tall, and that went over her reaching grasp, so that was an overthrow.
But no matter, a bit of a hiccup for the Riot here, but it's looking like they're going to send out the punt team for about the fourth or fifth time of this game, and they're going to look to get some excellent field position, seeing as here they're punting inside the 40-yard line of the Wolfpack. And call her deep again to punt in place of Turner, as was switched to halftime. And so she's got treble cock there in an onside position, who's going to motion out to the left. Good snap there. Punt high and into the goal line, red zone area of the Wolfpack, I must say, and recovered on the play there by Hackman, who...
We have a flag on this side. I'm not sure if you can see it. It actually landed out of bounds. The ref threw it up and it went back over his head. So I'm wondering if it'll be an offside penalty on the punt team. Procedure, yeah.
We're going to see here, Kevin, potentially what the officials are looking at on this one.
I'm going to have to brush up on my Canadian Football League hand signs. I'm a long-time NFL. I moved down to Minnesota when I was young, so grew up watching it and came back and
looking like some bunny ears, or looking like some clawing there, signaling from the defensive coordinator to his team. potentially anticipating maybe a blitz on what may be another running play from the Wolfpack. And been a little while since they've had an offensive series here. And, and it looks like definitely a penalty against the Riot there, probably of about 10 yards or maybe some unnecessary roughness. But no matter here, the Wolfpack are going to set up with 8:30 remaining in the fourth here. 1st and 10 at the 35.
Yeah, well, the flag was thrown right when the ball was snapped, and I'm not sure of any penalties that are
Clark
10.
back to pass.
Oh!
And in and out of the hands of a receiver and a defensive back, and Ann Smith almost catching it there, but also almost intercepted on the play by Courtney Tafelmeyer. That's the first time that she's been on the call today, and almost intercepted there. And as you could see,
That's their second pass play, and their first pass play was much the same, except for the receiver wasn't really paying attention, just kind of landed right by her. So changing things up, and they really have to because their run game hasn't been enough.
Clark is just going to rugby scrum it up the middle, and she's trying to get a push here. And
Oh, that's a good push.
good indeed, Kevin, as it is on their account today of about 4 yards. Looks like that Clark gained on that play, and that's as good as it's got here so far in terms of quarterback sneaks up the middle, minus that Brittany Swanson scamper earlier in the second quarter. And with 3rd and 5 here, the Wolfpack have no choice but to stay on the field for another. And it almost looks like victory formation, I must say. Clark is going to try to get another push here, and she bounces out to the left and sheds one tackle, and looking like she's probably going to be 2 yards short of a first down here. And
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Swanson's two longer runs, her about 15, 20-yarder and her 40-yarder, are their only first downs.
And I think you're right on that one, Kevin. And first downs have definitely become very far and few in between here for the Wolfpack. And with 6:30 remaining, the Riot are going to set up with more amazing field position here at the 44-yard line, of the Winnipeg Wolfpack, with Josie Shannon and company looking for more as she surveys the field with a single back and 3 slots, 2 wide, shotgun snap, and handoff up the middle to Ryu, who's met 3 yards past the line of scrimmage by number 60 and number 17 of the Wolfpack. That's Morset and Jill Fast there on the play to bring down Ryu.
More traditional shotgun approach there by in the backfield, running back, being kind of right by the quarterback there. And again, Regina just showing that they can do a little bit of everything.
2nd and 8 here for the Regina Riot.
Ooh.
Ryu makes 2 defenders miss and brought down on the play there again by Jill Fast, but you hear some wooing on the sideline there, and made 2 defenders miss, and those chains are going to keep rolling. And the Riot are going to get another first down here with just about 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Head official blows in the play. Shannon and company with no huddle here. Almost no huddle throughout the entire game, minus obviously injuries. And scores.
I think especially since Josie Shannon has been in, it's almost like, you see them just look over and get plays.
Surveys over the middle and fires to number 80. Caught by Hope Jordans, and she's looking to the left side and almost trots slowly out of bounds there, as you could see, and beats Ann Smith to the corner, but isn't far enough to be into the end zone. And so 1st and goal here for the Riot, under 4:30 remaining in the fourth.
Great block by number 30, Catherine Cabelis, just sealing the edge as a receiver coming in and just keeping all the linebackers inside, allowing her runner to get around her and get a bunch of extra yards.
So Shannon looking here towards the sideline for maybe a signal from her offensive coordinator. 4 minutes remaining on the nose here, and Shannon in shotgun formation again with single back. And a fake end around here, and Shannon loads of time in the pocket, and a flag thrown in the play there. In and out of the hands of number 30, which was, again, yes, Catherine Kabelis.
I think that's going to be a holding.
And I think you're right, Kevin. Yeah, and it is indeed a holding call confirmed by the head official against the Riot. So that's going to bring them back about 10 yards to set up a longer first and goal.
It's really I won't say it's the first, because I remember, I believe it was number 60, Sheena Morissette, doing a great job last quarter. But maybe the second time we've actually seen pressure in the backfield. And, we get pressure, and the offensive line, they can hold. They don't want their quarterback to get hit. And good play by Winnipeg. And it looks like they will accept the penalty and take the yards rather than the loss of down on the incomplete pass.
And it looks like that the head official may blow for the 3-minute warning here. I'm just going to have to wait to see what he's going to say here on this one.
Yeah.
And he does indeed blow for the 3-minute warning. And so the Riot are backed up here to about the 17-yard line of the Wolfpack with another first and goal attempt. Shannon shotgun snap and fakes a first handoff, but not a second. And tackle on the play there by Raposo and Hackman, and Krenbrink wasn't able to get much yardage on that play there. And so it's going to be a long second and goal here for the Riot.
Oh, we have an injury. I believe that's Stephanie Petit on Winnipeg. Down.
And it looks like you're right there, Kevin. So while we have this injured player down, remember that this quarter is brought to you by the Calls In Hotel. Calls In Hotel and the Wiser's Restaurant and Bar. Good friends, great times, and great food. Make sure to visit the Calls In Hotel and the Wiser's Bar.
Last play, I was watching Regina Riot kind of go off tackle there, and I missed Kyla Kernbrick actually getting the ball and coming sweeping out way outside, and so they fooled me. I don't know, did they fool you, Mr. Cameraman? No, he looks at me like, no, I know my job.
Yeah, it definitely looked like there was a bit of trickery going on there at in the backfield with their running backs.
Oh, she's getting carried off. That is not a good sign. She will get the applause, but let's hope it's a stinger or a sprain and not, something worse in the break or tear areas, because that's hard.
That's right, Kevin, and it's definitely very hard, and Wolfpack don't want to lose any players at this point of the game, and hopefully Petit is all right. And as the official blows in the play again here, with just under 2:30 remaining in the fourth quarter, and Shannon gets a shotgun snap, and she fires to the right side, and it's intercepted! Oh! Intercepted on the play by Ann Smith.
Oh.
And flags flying here. But a great defensive play, and the officials confirming possession to the Wolfpack. And that's got to be a spark for their...
Especially if that flag's a late hit. Oh.
And more flags coming here, and it's going to look like we got some 15-yarders going on.
Yeah, those ones, there was no Regina, so I'm wondering if someone said something to the refs. So it goes from maybe being a good... I mean, you got the interception. That's going to stand, but...
Waiting for some discussion from the officials here on who did what and how many yards are going to be going forward or backwards for the offense. Needless to say, outside of the flags, that was a great pick-off in the play by Smith, as you could really see that she jumped the route and prevented, again, another score from the Riots. And so the official here is listing off a bit of names, and he's got unnecessary roughness on a Regina Riot player. Another unnecessary roughness on a Regina player, so that's going to be 30 yards of forward.
Okay.
30 yards forward and penalty yardage here for the Wolfpack, so a bit of undiscipline from the Riot, but at this point in the game, it is not going to have a grave effect on their outcome. So Rebecca Clark gathers under center and scrums forward from inside her 40 and is going to gain about 3 yards on the play. So So with 2 play clocks remaining at 40 seconds here left in the fourth quarter, Kevin, you'd have to think that it's going to be a really tough go here for the Wolfpack to get a score going unless they get a burst of a play here. And Clark looking left end off her left tackle.
And Brittany Swanson has burst a couple times, but it hasn't gotten the distance. And I'm guessing maybe they'll try to rush this play, get it in before clock runs out, and try to get 2 more plays in. And that's what they're going to do. Of course, they got to get the first down first, but they get it. And the whistle.
We're going to have, and that's
it. It is done, yeah.
Head official signals, gives us 3 twirls for full time. And so as you can see, the final score here brought to you from Eastside Eagles Field is the Regina Riot 63, the Winnipeg Wolfpack 0. We'll be back for more after with an interview from the starting quarterback of the Regina Riot, which is Amy Kowalski, number 12, and overall complete game for her. And you can see here, Kevin, the Regina Riot really laid a beating upon the Wolfpack, and 63-0, that's a ferocious scoreline. And again, no scores and another number added into the loss column, unfortunately, for the Wolfpack. And again, Kevin, tough showing here for the Wolfpack. What do you see from this?
Yeah, I think the Wolfpack are really going to have to vary that offense because they just got owned at all manners of times. So you're going to have to do something more. You're going to have to figure something else out. It works college level to kind of that run big run offense. But I think here people are smarter, faster. You're going to have to do some more. So I'm going to step out and I'm going to try to get us our interview. But please,
we'll take a little break out here for sure. And just remember that the post-game show is brought to you by Case Financial. Case Financial is always there for all your financial needs. Make sure to visit Case anytime for anything financial. Welcome back to the Amateur Sports Network. I'm Matthias Bueno here with starting quarterback of the Regina Riot, Amy Kowalski. Amy, great game. What did you guys see out there as a team?
Well, we were coming out looking to have some fun and come in and find our first win. We used this trip as a bonding experience, so I think we've really come together.
That's I definitely have to agree on that one. You guys looked like you were really playing well as a team out there. And what would you think was one of the key points in the game that really helped you guys to pour it on and to really click as an offense?
Well, a few of our plays outside, we managed to get outside a few times and had some luck there. So I think that really got us going.
That's it's very true there, as you could see that the running game was really firing on all cylinders today, and I really think that a lot of credit to your offensive line there, and as well to yourself to make some pinpoint passes. And what can you say about the defense and how they've played today with giving you guys some help on the other side of the ball?
Yeah, they put up a 0 on the scoreboard, so they've come together as well. So that's nice to see. We've really relied on our defense in the past, and it's nice to see them rising to the occasion.
What are you guys going to look forward to towards next week's opponent in order to get another win?
Well, we're playing our rival Saskatoon, so we just got to focus on the little things, really, execute, make sure that once the ball's in the hand, we're making good choices, and I think if we get the right calls, we'll be okay.
Thanks, Amy, again. Looking to see here that the Regina Riot playing next week against the Saskatoon Valkyries in Saskatchewan. And so I'm Matthias Bueno from the Amateur Sports Network, and thank you again here to starting quarterback, and congratulations again on the win to the Regina Riot. We'll be back to wrap up the post-game show with a word from our sponsor. Hello everyone, and welcome back again to the Amateur Sports Network. As we're concluding our post-game show here from Eastside Eagles Field, we can see that the Regina Riot laid a 63-0 victory over the Winnipeg Wolfpack. The Regina Riot travel next week back to Saskatchewan to play against the Saskatoon Valkyries, and the Winnipeg Wolfpack will play again against their crosstown rivals, the Manitoba Fearless. Looking for another win for the Wolfpack. Is going to be their third game here this season, and the Fearless are going to look to keep going on a roll. As we bring to you next week's Amateur Sports Network Game of the Week with the WWCFL, the Fearless will play at Investors Group Field against the Winnipeg Wolfpack. And thank you again to all of our sponsors, to Case, to Colson Hotel, and to Super 8 West, and also Pembina Source for Sports. For the Amateur Sports Network, I'm Matthias Bueno, saying so long from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Eastside Eagles Football Field.